Hey everyone, I'm Jack Hammer, and tonight I wanted to bring you the last game of 2020 in my series on Mac Jones. It'll be Alabama against Notre Dame in the NCAA college football semifinal. This was actually the Rose Bowl game. So we'll go into this one. The last one we did was Alabama against Florida. This is going to be a little bit different. So let's get into it. There's definitely some good stuff to look at and some rough ones as well. They start off this game right away with some really throwing the ball quite a bit, but the throwing that they're doing here is really just these, the screen here, the little quick screen throw out to the right side. Pretty nice and easy throw there. The tight end does a good job, gets upfield, gets about 10, gets to the first down for them. They give them some really easy throws to start this game off. They're just basically using the pass as running plays. Really not anything more than that. Then they come back here on second down. You got the three receivers here. This receiver is going to run a deep curl. This receiver is going to be running a vertical right up the seam right here. The tight end is going to be running a curl over the middle. And then you got a little route coming here. You got a check down by the running back. As this one's starting, it sure looks like he's got this seam right here. I know these guys are both playing off of him. If this ball comes out right now, he can hit the seam right here around the 50-yard line. They got the single high safety. They got this guy falling over the top. It looks like cover 3 or some variation of that. It's not an easy throw, but it's there. You can see the hole opening up. If that ball had come out, he could have hit it. Early in the game, instead he decides to take the check down, and then Najee Harris does a nice job at the end of that. He does a good job. He's looking over the left side, doesn't like what he sees, steps, moves just a little bit, hits his check down, and they're able to get another first down. Not a downfield throw. Would have liked to have seen him maybe hit that seam ball there, but he doesn't go there. The next one here, just a real easy swing pass out to the left side to 19 here. Puts it out in front of him, so he's moving towards the line of scrimmage, and the receiver does a nice job on the yards after the catch, picks up 8. So a couple of easy throws there to start the game. 2 screens, the check down. Now we got 2nd and 2. And here on 2nd and 2, we're going to be getting a blitz. You're going to see they're going to show it kind of late. They're going to start sneaking. These 2 guys are both going to end up blitzing. One of them comes through untouched. Jones is able to spin out, and finds his tight end standing along the sidelines for a completion. It's a short gain, only about 5 yards, but it moves the chains. Good job right here. It's like I said, this one backer or one player, I'm not sure if it's the linebacker. It looks like the linebacker comes through untouched, and Jones is able to get away from him, spin out, and make the play right along the sideline there to pick up the first. Then here on 1st and 10, just going to be a run. Nice gain. Big one. That's their first run of the game. Actual run. And you can see the speed difference. The ACC, I think, was a little overrated in 2020. When you watch them on film, especially the lower level teams were really slow, and I think that really helps out Clemson and Notre Dame in getting them to this point. Then here they're going to throw this little fake screen out to the left. This is a route that they run, and if you watch the national championship breakdown, you've seen them do this. So they run this little, like this guy's blocking. This guy's going to go vertical, and then this guy's going to release into the hole. And Jones is just late on getting the ball out of his hand on this one, and so he misses the throw. You just got to get it out a little quicker. Ball should be coming out right now. It's just a little slow coming off of the pump to turning his shoulders. It's just a little, it's hard to, when you watch him, you're going to see him do this pump and just watch the shuffle of the feet that it takes. that little split second, and it's, he's into a covered situation. He doesn't have the arm to put it on the straight line. He gets it out there about as hard as he's going to get it. The ball just needed to come out of his hand quicker. He hits the ball. That's a route that they like to run, that he can hit. He doesn't hit it there. It's a bad ball. Comes out late. And then we got 2nd and 10. They're going to run just a little screen out to the left side. What I like about it is he puts the ball in the right spot, and then his receiver is able to do the rest. He's just a faster player than anybody on the Notre Dame defense. He's just able to make the one guy miss, and he's down the sidelines, and they're not going to catch him. Hey, Hawaiian King. So nice start to the game. On that first drive, there's a lot, mostly screens. He had the check down, the one nice escape on the blitz. He misses the whole shot though. So they're going to come back after that, and it's going to be 1st and 10. You'll see him run it here. Nice run. Gets him out of the hole. Gets him all the way almost out to the 20. They're down at the 18-yard line. So a nice run to start it off. Then here on 1st and 10, we're going to get a play action. You're going to get a curl out to the right side. That's the side that he's looking at the whole way, and he gets the ball out quick. The other side of the field is pretty well covered. They got both those guys running ins at the bottom of the screen, and they're both covered. So his pre-snap read took him to the left side of the field. It makes sense. He's got basically almost one-on-one coverage out here. They got these two guys here, and over on this side they have these three, and they've got these two here, and then they've got these three guys plus the linebacker. So their numbers matchup is better on the left side anyway. And then after play action, that's a really nice ball. Good job by the receiver to come back as well. He puts it in a good spot, and they hit it for the completion there. So it's a nice one. Sorry. Second and 1 now. They're just going to run a little wide receiver screen out to the right side. That one, they run a little bit differently, and it's not out in front of him as much. Then this next play is the one that I think everybody pretty much remembers. This is the nice run by. I'm going to let this one run without fast forwarding. This is Najee Harris doing a nice job down the sidelines. He does a great job of jumping over the Notre Dame defender right here. Boom. And over him and down the sidelines he goes. Really nice. What a play. What an athlete. He breaks the tackle, hops over the guy, and he's off to the races down the sideline. So they get that huge play, gets them down into the red zone. Now on this one, we're going to have they like to run this in the red zone, where they run basically where they take this guy. He's going to run across this way. And I think it's going to be this guy here. He's going to run. They're basically going to cross the formation. And what happens is he gets lost. Typically what happens with them is one of these two guys is going to get lost in that cross. And then down here, you've got this guy run a little flat, and this guy's going to block and release. Or actually, he's just going to block on this one. So nice little play action. And they just lose him in coverage, and he puts it over the top of him. Nice, easy throw. Easy pitch and catch, good design. They run that play a lot. That's if you watch the game against Florida, you saw them score a touchdown running basically the same play, and the same thing happened. He just gets lost in coverage. The guys on the backside there's just a miscommunication. They don't see it coming. They don't fall back enough, and they're able to hit it. Then here's the start of the next drive. He's going to be looking off to the left side over here. He's got the two outs. He gets a little bit of pressure, so he comes off of that, and he's got to move to the right. He's got it open down here to the left, right. Right now, if he's looking, he kind of comes off it before he starts to move. You're going to see him looking down to the bottom side. Down here, they've got 2 outs. That levels out kind of concept. We've talked about one guy in the flat, one guy deeper. So they got this guy in the flat. This guy's running deep. He's looking at it to start with, and he comes back to the other side where he's got a dig with a deep shot over the top. And by this time, he's already pressured. He's coming up through the line of scrimmage. And he's looking to throw it, but there's nothing there. So he brings it down and runs. You can kind of see that he's looking and holding it to try to decide if he wants to go or not. Right here, look, right there. You see him as he's running. You'll see it when we look behind. When he starts to move, you see him get ready to, like he's going to cock it and throw, and then he takes off. Right here. Yeah, maybe he's not. Maybe he's just looking to see if he can get it over to his check down. Either way, it's a nice little scramble. Gets him 4 yards. Little fake screen wide, and they throw it underneath inside. And they run a little quarterback sneak here. Then on 1st and 10, going to be an easy throw. They're just going to run a little wide receiver screen out to the left side, motion them over. Little swing. Blocked up really well. They don't have enough guys over there. It's really just opens up for him and up the field he goes. Again, super easy throw. Puts it out in front of him where it needs to be, but it's an easy ball. Doesn't really have to read the defense. It's not at all. On this one, you're going to see they're running crossers with an out post. Basically, this is a flat. Basically, what this is it's a they got crossing action underneath, and he's going to work it to a little bit of a deeper route at the end. Basically, what you got here is a variation of a flood concept that's going to be coming over here, where they got the deep route, takes 2 safeties deep. You got the running back swinging out down here who takes the underneath defender. And he makes this tight window. He gets this throw in here to 19. It's really tight. It's going to be here. You see him go across. 19 kind of, trailing off at the end of his route, kind of gaining depth as he's going, allows that Notre Dame defender to make this a tighter throw than it needs to be. If he just runs that thing a little bit more across, it might not be quite so tight because he's kind of running into him. He's making that distance a little bit shorter for him. Nice throw there. And then here on 1st and 10, just going to get RPO off of the left side with a slant. Hits him on the run. That's something that we see the 49ers do with Deebo Samuel. Just hit him quick and let him run. Little RPO action. Boom. Gets his feet reset. Easy throw. It's only 10 yards downfield in front of him, and they get the touchdown. On this one, this little run, watch 57, the linebacker. He has no idea where the football is. He's going to keep chasing Mac Jones. Either the linebacker or defensive end, one of those guys coming off the edge. Picks up 7 there. Then here on the run, they get 2. Sets up a quarterback sneak, and then they're going to run it again. So quite a few runs here in a row. Nice little run. Only picks up 2 though, so they're going to get stuck with second and 8. You're going to see the tight end's going to come open over the middle, but he's getting pressured at the same time as that tight end starting to come open. And so he's got to drop it down. When I watched this the first couple of times, I wasn't quite sure. I thought it looked like he missed the wide receiver because I wasn't really looking at what was happening in the backfield. I'm just looking down here to see what the route concepts were and whatnot. And you see number 8, you see the tight end. He breaks free right here, and he's wide open in the middle of the field. But unfortunately, when you watch it through, you see that at the point when he's starting to break past the linebackers, that's when the pressure is all around Jones. So let's take a look at it from here. We see 87. He's the one that's going to come open in the middle of the field. There's your play action. He's dropping back. And just as he's starting to get open right here, he hasn't even turned yet. So his back's to him. He's got this guy's coming at him. He's unblocked. This guy's beating his man. So he's got these 2 guys coming down on him. He doesn't really have time. If the only way that ball comes out to the tight end is if he just kind of loops it up in the air because the guy's not looking. So he does a good job of swinging it out to his check down and letting him do some work and pick up a couple of yards for him. Actually, I think he only gets a yard right about. No, on this one, you're going to get they're going to be working over here. It's 3rd and 7. And he's going to know pretty quickly where he's going with the ball. He's got the single high safety. This guy's going to run a vertical. This guy's uncovered, and he's going to be running a vertical too. A wheel kind of follows him. And then this guy's going to run an out. Just based off of where they're lined here, you can tell right now that he should have something in this area open. And then, so that's his pre-snap. Post-snap, he's taking a look at it. That guy that was over the top, you see him turning his back to go with the flat. At that point, he knows he's going to have this guy open because look at where this defender is. This defender's leveraged inside to keep him from going across the middle. He wants to force him out. And it runs right, it's perfect, works out well for him. He knows where he's going with the ball. Almost from right now, he knows what he's going to get. He gets the look as soon as the ball gets in his hands off the snap. He sees everybody moving. He knows he's going to the tight end. He's able to get it out quick, and they hit it for a first down. So the nice one there. You're on 1st and 10. They're going to run the ball for a couple yards. Gives them 2nd and 8. And then they're going to run a verse here that doesn't really work out. And they end up losing some yards, so it gives them a 3rd and 13. And he's going to be working the right side of the screen. He has the one-on-one, and he wants to go to the curl up there. That's generally a winner for them. You look at the rest of the routes; they're pretty well covered. Everywhere else, this guy run across. He's not open. This guy's well covered. He's made the right pre-snap read that he's going to go to the top of the screen and work this one-on-one matchup. So now it's between this receiver and this DB who's going to win the matchup, and the DB wins this rep. He kind of holds him at the top. It doesn't allow him to come back to the ball. And that's part of why the ball's incomplete. He does a good job at of holding him. You can't really see it from this one, I don't think. Let's see. You can kind of see them tied up right there. Remember, this guy's normally going to be coming back to the ball a little bit. That's where Jones throws it, and it goes out of bounds. So it's not really it's an errant throw because where he was, but it's part of the reason it's errant is because the DB does a good job of holding the receiver at the top of the route, not let him get away. So that's the first half, pretty quick. If you go through it, ton of screens. They ran a few screens there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 screens in the first half. And some other good throws. The nice touchdown was an easy ball though. The scramble was a nice run. The RPO for the slant was a nice one. the crossers are out where he was working from his left to his right, and he hits it in tight coverage. That was a pretty good one as well. And even the check down in the 3rd and 7 pickup was a nice one too, being able to see that. So it gets us into halftime. Let me see what we got going on over here. Anthony says, to me, his arm strength is the same as Garoppolo, so my fear is when he gets to the league and the game speeds up, it's going to be too fast for him, and he'll likely become like Jimmy and become gun shy. I think you're on the right track when you say that he's, from an arm strength standpoint, he's probably close to Garoppolo. You're probably right. He has enough arm to hit everything from 50 yards in. He's not going to throw it more than 50 yards unless he's got a nice gust of wind behind him. Haven't seen him be able to do that yet. But he can make all the throws. He makes up for the lack of arm strength with getting the ball out quickly. So, that's something I think would translate over is his ability to get it out quick. It's not like there's a lot of, the stuff that he's running at Alabama is very similar to what he'd be asked to do with the 49ers. So I think you would see it translate over pretty, relatively simply, and he seems to do a very good job of being able to diagnose defenses and whatnot from what you see on the film and from what you hear when you see him break it down as well. So, I think he's got the ability. Definitely, if you watch the Florida game, you'll see that he was really sped up in that game at times, and there was a little bit of struggle. And then this one is so far right. Not a whole lot. 1st and 10, they're going to run the ball here, and they get stopped for only a gain of 2. So they're set up on with a 2nd and 8. On 2nd and 8, they're going to come out here, and they're going to run. They're going to run a play that they really like to run. People call it dagger. So they motion them over. What they're going to do once they get him there, you're going to get a vertical here. He's going to run. He's going to try to clear out the middle. He's going to take this thing not necessarily straight up the field. But he's going to take it towards the middle. This guy's going to go down to about the 40, just on the other side of the 40. We're at the 40, and he's going to break it in. So it's got like kind of a dig route. In the backfield, you're going to get play action. You're going to see pre-snap that they're showing blitz. We've seen this happen to him a few different times. There was some film that I did on Twitter where I broke this down between him and Justin Fields. You can see right now they both, it's a play where both Fields and Jones are running against this concept against a blitz coming off their left was the one that I tweeted out. But you see it coming. So he's really got to read this. What he just did right there with his hands, that's a signal. I'm not sure what it is because they do it a couple different ways. He did both of them that time. Sometimes it'll only be his left one. I haven't diagnosed what that little signal is, but that's something for the receivers and to know what's going on. And he gets hit as he's throwing it. He's got that middle open, and he gets hit. The ball's coming out of his hand as he gets hit. You'll see this at the top of his drop. You're going to see the pressure come off the edge. And he stands in there and delivers the ball. See that little movement with his hands? That's a signal to the receivers. And then he gets hit as he's throwing, which causes his arm not to be able to follow through. So the ball's a little high. Really nice job by Smith being able to get up and getting it. Good job by the quarterback to stand in there and get the ball out. They're going to run the ball here on 1st and 10. So it sets up second and 7. On 2nd and 7, we're going to get some slants. From the right side, these guys are going to be running slants. That's where he's going to want to work. They do a really good job of covering it and taking that away. And then he's got to start to move. So you see him slide down the line of scrimmage. He's kind of trying to figure out where to go. He's got his eyes up, though, and he sees the running back at the end of it and gets it out to him. Boom. He turns. He's looking to run. and he's able to spot his running back and pop it out to him quick, and they're able to pick up about 5 yards. You know, that second slant, when you watch it from the all 22 portion where it's up high, looks like it's open. That's this guy right here. You're going to see him run his slant. It looks like it's open. But what happens is there's really nowhere to throw it because of the jam on the receiver. This guy's in the way the whole time. And these two guys, both basically the way that they come together, they've closed out any of the windows. So that's why you see him. He's already brought his eyes away from here. He starts looking this way, looking to run, and then he sees the running back, and he's able to get it out to him. Pretty good job by the defense of taking away the quick throw. Good job of kind of resetting and getting it across to the running back on a check down, basically. So that's going to set them up with 3rd and 2, and they're going to run it here for a first down. They'll pick it up. Little toss. Yeah, just on this one, I was trying to remember how I didn't draw it up very well on my notes. But what you see happen in here is this receiver out here, he's going to run like a little in, and he's going to bring it back out. And this guy's going to be running it. He's going to be running it deep out. There you go. So here's this one. Here's the corner route. It's covered up pretty well. You know, there's nowhere to go. This guy's covered up. This guy's covered. He's got a check down here and a check down here. He takes the check down to the running back, and Harris drops the ball. Really well covered by Notre Dame in the secondary. So he's got to check it down, and Harris just takes his eyes off the ball. And so 2nd and 10 here, they're going to run the ball for a short gain too. So they're left with 3rd and 8. He's going to try to get this one over the middle. He's got him open, and the ball gets knocked down. I think he's trying to go here. This is the one that's open, and the defensive lineman does a good job, gets his hands up and knocks it down. Let's see. Yeah, he's trying to hit the tight end, and 57's right there, bats the ball up in the air. Forces a punt. Little RPO slant, hits him in stride. Nice run. Nice run after the catch. Easy pitch and catch. Just a little play action in the backfield. And he's got the slant coming from the right side. He hits it right in stride. The positive part with Jones is the ball placement. He's very good with it, but more often than not. Yeah, play action here. He wants to move right. And it's incomplete. This little throwback screen, I think it is, and kind of a play. At least that's what it looks like. Let me see it one more time. Because he comes back to it pretty quick. The out's covered, the slant's covered, that corner route's covered. And he goes with the check down. He just does it so fast that it looks like he's like it's designed to go there, but he's gone through it pretty quick. Everything was covered downfield. This looks like the next one, 1st and 10. You're gonna have to check it down again. Again, really well covered. They're trying a couple of different things out here on the edge. You're gonna see a little double move. He's trying to get him back over here, but it's well covered. He's got to check it down. Hey, look, no worries. We'll you'll be able to check it out after this is done. You'll be able to definitely get a good idea of it. Little run. And this sets up probably the two best plays of the game, two of the better plays of the game for Jones. On 3rd and 4 right here, it's going to be pretty well covered. You're going to see him. He's reading the looks to his left, but he's looking over here. Nothing really breaks open out of that bunch, and he takes off to the left side, and he gets as much as he can before he slides down. If we go back to it, let's just look and see. These guys are still kind of in their routes. They're really well covered. They've got it really well covered. There's nowhere to get. Both these guys, all three of these guys over here are covered. He turns back this way. There's nothing there. Takes off with it. He's not really going to get any further than he does unless he wants to put his shoulder down into him. You don't want to see your quarterback do that, so he does the smart thing. He picks up as much yardage as I think any of these quarterbacks are going to pick up on this play, other than if you want him to go ahead and try to run through the defenders. So I'll take what he did there. Nice run, gets him to 1st and goal at the 7. And this is going to probably be one of the best throws that I've seen him make on the run. He's running like a sprint, and he hits that guy right at the pylon. What a nice ball. Good. That was a really nice play. Don't see him do this very often. It's not his strength, but he does a really nice job of sticking that one on there. That's a really nice ball to Smith at the pylon for a touchdown. Next possession is going to start off with a little screen to the wide receiver out to the right. Gets him a 1st down. Here on 1st and 10 is a run. On 2nd down now here, on this one, we're going to get this guy's going to be running a deep corner. This receiver is going to be running kind of he's going to make it look like he's going to go across. So he's going to come down. Looks like he starts to go across, and he's going to come out. And then you get a post on the backside. And it's works out really well for him. They do a good job on the corner, but the receiver, that route does a good job of beating his man. And Jones hits it right on time as he's getting hit in the backfield. Just another job, another example of him standing in, and the ball comes out. He's hit. He doesn't get taken down to the ground, but he's getting hit as he throws the ball. See that a lot. A lot more than I think people give him credit for. That's a better way of putting it. They're going to try to run the screen out here, and it's blowing up pretty quick. Does a good job of throwing it down. Remember, they're going to try to, you're going to see them come out here. They do a really good job. They get a lot of pressure up the field really quick, and they're attacking this play from the beginning. He's got to kind of bubble out. He's 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It's a good job that he just threw that one in the ground, because if he catches it, they're not going to get the yardage back. And so there's a run play there on 2nd and 10. And then on 3rd and 8, they're going to run it again and pick up the first down. We're almost done. We're on one of the last series of the game. There's the run on 3rd down to pick up the first. They were up big here, 28-7. Here we're going to get a little RPO, and they're going to try to throw it out here to the left side, I believe it is, but it's going to get batted down to the line of scrimmage. You see the Notre Dame defender right there. He does a really nice job. You're going to see him start the rush. I'm not sure which one it is. You're going to see him start the rush. I think it's going to be this guy right here. You're going to see him start the rush. He knows, he realizes what's happening. He sees it. Actually, it's the linebacker. So the blitzing linebacker. Watch him. He's going to step up. He's going to realize what's happening. He's going to stop his feet right there, and that allows him to get his hand up and knock the ball down. Really nice play by the defensive player right there. Good job by that linebacker, number 33, to get up and knock that ball down. So here on 2nd and 10, we're going to get a run. Now we're at 3rd and 9. They're going to throw the ball out of here. We're going to see this guy right here. He's going to be coming across. He's going to run a little curl. This guy's going to run an out. And then the guy right here, he's going to run basically where it looks like he starts to run at this defender. And then he's going to run to the post. And then he's going to hit the curl. For the touchdown, or for the first down, excuse me, touchdown. Just a little sit down right in the middle of the zone. Nice job. Everything kind of opens up for it. Easy pitch and catch. Ball comes out of his hand quick. Really nice there. And then we get the wide receiver screen out to the right. Little swing. Puts it out in front of him. And they get some good blocking over there, good move, and he gets the first down. Then we get a run on the next play here. It was 1st and 10. They get a little run. Sets up 2nd and 9. And then here this is gonna be one of their bread and butter plays where they run play action with their deep curls. You're gonna see him throw the ball out here to the left side, and For whatever reason, he decides to come over here. This is a tough throw. He's got the underneath defender sitting right here. Probably would have been better to work the other side of the field or try to. Because with that underneath defender, what that forces him to do, he can't throw it right to his receiver. He's got to throw it off to the side. You're going to see it from here. You'll see him throw it more to the left. So it's going to be incomplete off to his left. That underneath defender sitting right there. He's not going to be able to get it up and over the top of him. That guy's doing a really good job of getting depth. So that ball, in order to get to him, he's got to throw it out here. His better option would have been to take this to the right side. Something in his pre-snap read told him to work the left. They get too much depth there, and it's an incompletion instead of getting a completion on the other side. He just doesn't see it. The pre-snap coverage took him the other way. And that ball usually always has to come out quick right after he gets to the top of his drop. So they get the incompletion there. You get a false start. Yeah, they're pretty much done here because it's at the end. It's 31-7. You get a false start. They're going to run the ball. Then you're going to see a little wide receiver screen, and then there's a blitz that comes through quick, and he throws it away. So there's not really a whole lot left. So that's pretty much the game. One of the main parts with this game was there's just a lot of screens in this one. There was quite a bit of a screen game going on. You saw him make a few nice throws down the field, though. You saw him do a good job with pressure a couple of different times there. The one time where he spun out and got the ball to his tight end. The other time where he gets pressure and scrambles it down to the 7, followed up by the sprint out on the touchdown with that really nice throw on the pylon on the move. So some nice things. Wasn't the strongest of performances. At least I don't think it is. They weren't really, because he wasn't really asked to do a whole lot. They were. It was almost as if they were just kind of toying with Notre Dame in this game. They didn't really go down at them. So, overall, not a bad game though. Definitely a couple of things that you gotta like. Really gotta like the movement out of this one. So, let's just see what's going on in the comments. Bay says that I really hope the Niners don't pick him at 3. Yeah, you might not. If there's 2 other guys that they could choose from, so we'll see what they decide to do there. Ken, another good thing from pocket passers, lived for another play. Yeah, that's definitely one of his strengths. He doesn't turn the ball over very often, and he doesn't really make bad choices. At least in the 2020 season, we didn't see him. He threw four interceptions. If I remember correctly, 3 of them. The first one was he's getting hit from behind against Georgia. It's a blindside hit, and the ball gets, as he's starting to throw, they intercept that one. There's against a blitz against Texas A&M, and the guy's able to knock the ball up in the air, and somebody else gets it. Yeah, so there was the one that I think probably the worst one, and I didn't get a chance to look at it on film because I don't have the game against Arkansas. There was one against Arkansas where I think he was going down and he throws it, and it gets picked off, and it shouldn't have been. That's a bad play. For sure. But I like I said, unfortunately, I don't have that Arkansas film to break down, or else I would have done that one. Luke's able to hang out. Looks like he says, the more I see Mac Jones, the more I like him. I want Lance, but I can see why Jones might be the choice. Yeah, I think those are the 2 that I want. I want Mac Jones first because I really like him. I think he can step in and play right away. I think there's a lot of Mac Jones, a lot of Matt Ryan, I think, in Mac Jones. Matt Ryan in Mac Jones. That's the comp for me if I was going to comp him to a pro player. Maybe it's because I can see what Matt Ryan did, and Matt Ryan's not necessarily the most fleet of foot, but and he has a good arm, but he doesn't have I don't think he's got the strongest arm in the league. He doesn't make a lot of off schedule, crazy throws or anything like that, but he does enough to win. And I don't think that's the reason they lost the Super Bowl either, was the quarterback play. I think they should have kicked a field goal at the end of the game instead of should have kept running the ball. But that's for another one. But doesn't look like there's any more questions. Well, hold on. Ken jumps in and says, I think it comes down to if they want to save the money, getting rid of Jimmy. Mac can start day one. If they keep Jimmy, Lance can sit a year if he needs it. Yes and no. I really think that Lance can play week one. He has enough things that he can do where they could build build around him, a game plan around him to be able to take advantage of what he can offer. It would be a situation where they're going to have to be able to run the ball though, and not force him to and try to keep him out of third and long situations and things like that. But yeah, if it's Mac Jones, I think for sure Mac Jones can start day one. I think he'd be able to beat out Garoppolo in a competition. All right. Well, I thank you guys all for joining. Looks like we had a pretty good group in here. The comment section wasn't quite as lively tonight, but that's okay. The game went pretty quick. Most of the time, it's taken me a lot longer than it did tonight. So there wasn't a whole lot of uber exciting plays to go through, but pretty good game overall. He did fine, Mac Jones did fine. Like I said, he showed a couple nice plays with his feet. So really appreciate everybody for joining and going through this whole series. I'll have to figure out where we're going to go from here. There'll definitely be some fun stuff after the draft as well. Keep an eye out there. I might do some other positions and stuff over the next week before the draft comes up, as well as doing maybe some breakdowns on these guys, doing maybe going through, for example, just like all their move plays or what have you. So. Luke says, I was at Alex Smith's first pro game ever. He just turned 21 years old. I'm all for seeing Lance a year behind Jimmy. That's actually a good point because he's going to be young like Alex Smith was. He's only going to be he's only going to be 21 next year. He's only 20 right now. So his birthday's in May, so he'll be 21 when the season starts. So yeah, I see where you're going, and I see the kind words from everybody. I appreciate you guys all joining, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Hit the little what is it? The bell up in the top so you get alerted, and keep on coming in. And let's have fun throughout this off season and watching the team build. And it'll be fun once the game starts in August. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you for joining.